Let me tell you about a little bit of our guest speaker here. This young man is amazing. Been knowing him and his lovely wife in my previous company. Matter of fact, how you do anything is how you do what, Mr. Lewis? Everything. And this young man was the ESD in our previous company. That would be equivalent to a senior vice president in ACN. Him and his lovely wife, they held in South Carolina. And when I go down and work with him prior to the last couple of years, we would go from sun up to sundown, all up and down the highway, byways. I guarantee we rolled off 4 sets of tires on that car. I like to think of him as James Brown of ACN. He's one of the hardest working men I know. And I mean, he gets after it. He's an RD, his wife's an RD, his business partner's an RD. And how we got connected was my previous company. He called me, he was searching for my number to get started. He went to several people to finally get my number and call me. And when he called me, I was walking on stage to the international convention several years ago in front of 20,000 people. I had not turned my phone off yet. I was going up the stairs and I answered the phone at the top of the stairs before going behind the curtain to come out. And he said, listen, this is Curtis Evans. You don't know me. I don't remember me. I want to get started with you. And I hunted your number down. I said, I'm going on stage right now. I'll call you back in about an hour and we'll talk then and get you started. Long story short, got him started. Like I said, he's the regional director, his wife's regional director, his business partner's regional director. He hails from South Carolina, doing a phenomenal job out there in South Carolina, him and his wife. You'll hear a lot more of them on the future calls. Without further ado, my dear friend, Mr. Curtis Evans.
Hello, how you doing? Can everybody hear me?
Good, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Good,
sir.
good. Well, my name is Curtis Evans. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, actually a little town outside of Charleston called Summerville, South Carolina. And my wife and I reside here. I started network marketing a long time ago, a long time ago. And it was only because of a security guard where I worked kept coming into my office and asking me, you want to make some real money. At the time, and I know now, but security guard didn't get paid a whole lot of money, and I was making a lot of money. So here was a security guard walking in my office and said, Curtis, Mr. Evans, do you want to make some real money, some real money? And he was talking Greek to me. He stayed on me. I mean, he asked me that question over, asked me to go to a meeting, and I forgot, couldn't go, And what I want to explain to you is one night I was going home. I was tired and he was leaning on my car, the same security guard. He said, follow me to the meeting. And I followed him to the meeting. I learned about network marketing. I didn't understand it, but 8 months later, I signed up and got started. And he did some big things because we did some big things with that company. And my lesson here for you is the fortune is in the follow-up, okay? Who doesn't want to get paid when thousands upon thousands of people pay their bills anyway? Okay, who doesn't want to get paid? Who doesn't want a big juicy check coming in, over time, a big juicy check coming in, a residual check coming in the house every month? Who? Nobody. Everybody wants to get paid. Everybody. It's a matter of timing. And so because he stayed with me, I'm thankful for Isaiah Sistra. He stayed with me and he didn't aggravate me. He just stayed with me. He kept dripping on me like Jocelyn said yesterday. And so I urge everybody, don't forget those people you're talking to. Don't aggravate them. Just every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, just drip on them. Just drip. And you'll be shocked. And when their timing comes due and where you are, the name of the game for you is to be already above by the time they sign up. That's your job, okay? So if you can do that, you'll be fine. My job today is to kind of explain to you the importance of conventions. Now, when I started network marketing, I didn't know anything about it, but the guy that started me up, now with security guard, the guy that signed him up, he urged me to get to an event. So I went to an event in Florence, South Carolina. It was a pretty big event. And Jimmy Dick and some really powerful people were at that event. The event woke me up, because I found out that I wasn't in a little thing. That's what got me. I wasn't in a little thing. I was shocked when I went into the room about how many people were there. And the people that went up on stage, from just all kinds of people going up on stage talking, that made a big impact on me. And then they asked me to go to Atlanta. I was coachable. A couple of weeks later, they had an event in Atlanta. Ronnie Kirkland, I think, was speaking there in Atlanta. And I was shocked again at the quantity and quality of people that was at that event. And he made a big deal. Ronnie got up on stage, stood up on a chair, sort of like what Al did years ago. He stand up on chairs and scream at everybody. I love that. And what happened was he said, if you want to do this business, you got to go to Dallas. Now, remember, they were pushing an event. I went from one event to another event to another event. And when I came out of Dallas and Mr. Kenny Trout had a hold to 20,000 people, I saw Al speak for the first time. That was my first time seeing him speak. But when I went to the event, I was in that company. See, before I signed up into the company, but I wasn't in the company. The company wasn't in me. I said it backward. I was in the company, but the company wasn't in me. So when I came back to my small town, I went to work and I couldn't get anybody to see it. I signed some IBOs up and the reps up and it was working. It wasn't until I figured out the problem. I had to get them to the event. And once I got them to the event, this is what Julian talked about a lot in the last few weeks. Once I got them to the event, they weren't just in the company, the company was in them. There was a big event there. They talked a lot. They got a chance to shake people's hands, see people. They got a chance to see that these people were regular, average people that were doing very, very well. And so I learned something. So every event I get a nugget out of it, but I acquired a talent of getting people to come to an event. And we'll talk about that. That's another thing. What I want to talk to you about is an event that we have now because of the pandemic. We all had to learn how to do it where? Virtually. And so the company has a virtual event now. We really don't have to spend, the money that it takes to get to an event is, it's a joke. Lurleen does our events and she kind of helps keep us straight there. It's $49. And it's almost a joke that we can't even eat dinner for $49. So Ms. Jones, she keeps up with that, and so she presses everybody, get involved, get to the event, get to the event, because it's event to event to event. And when you get there, magic is going to happen. It's just magic. I can't explain this, but just is magic at these events. And so I want to preface what I had to say with what got me going. I am certain that if they hadn't pressed me to go to Florence and then to Atlanta and then to Dallas, that I wouldn't have gotten to the top of the comp plan. And we had an ambassador level there, and I got to the ambassador level. I couldn't have gotten that far up in our compensation plan hadn't I got to the event. Number two, I could not have gotten that far up into the company hadn't it been for me getting people to the event, getting the room and getting through it. We have guys sleeping on the bathroom floor. Somebody slept on the toilet. Somebody slept in. We were sleeping all over the place, coming in 1, 2. We had a ball. And then we got 2 rooms, and then we got 3 rooms, and then we got 4 rooms, and it just grew. And then when they went back to town, I didn't have to say, what you gonna do? They were doing it. They were working hard to get their promotions. And so this is a crucial thing. Now, right now we're doing it virtually. I urge everybody get to all the virtual events, push to get people there. And one day when we have, next year, I suspect, when we have a real convention, then your job is to have the biggest group of people that you can get at that event or the regional event that may be in your area. So at this event, I said all that to say this. At this event, the thing that got me was walk. I can walk, run, sprint. And we think everybody has to sprint. And that may not be the case. We think, so we asked a new IBO, a new rep when they sign up, a new independent business owner, do you want to walk? Or do you want to run? Do you want to sprint? There's goal line. I know you want wealth, but what do you want? How do you want to do this? And they tell you how they want to do it. It's their choice. And then you help them. It just helped me a whole lot. And so I'm asking everyone that question right now. How do you want to go? How do you want to run? You want to walk around? And really, a lot of people will sign up if you ask that question. If you ask that question, they will sign up because now they know they can go at their pace. Okay. But once they sign up, another thing I learned from I can't remember his name now, the realtor in up north. It'll come to me, but was the 4 or 5 hour rule. They signed up today. If they signed up today and they're excited today, when should they have their first PBZ? When should they have their first meeting? Today. And if you can break it down until 4 or 5 hours later, Who can't call 4 good friends of theirs or 5 good friends of theirs and get them on the call? If Al got into business right now and he called Lorna Saylor and he called Darlene Evans and he called Queen, I can't remember, Arlene, and he called Willie Cribb and said, hey, I'm excited. I need you to come to this meeting tonight. There's a guy that's gonna be talking about us making, we always talk about making money. This guy's gonna show us how to do it. I'm in. I want you guys on this call at 7 o'clock. And we're on because we're so excited. Evans is on, Willie's on, Queen's on, Julian's on. We're all on because why? Al was so excited. He just got in. He was so excited. What we do is we want to have that meeting next week or the week after next. And it's a different type of, it's a different thing. And I'm gonna give you an example. I used to sell cars. I sold cars for 10 years. Did some corporate work, but then I went into auto sales. When people get a new car, they're really, 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 really excited. When they call, the kind of conversation they're having about their, I'm a big Porsche guy, by the way. If you know me, a Porsche, that's my car. Okay. But if they get a new car, they are so excited. They're calling you up. Hey, Daryl, I got a new car. Belinda, I got a new car. Maria, I got a new car. Willie, I got a new car. It's blue with yellow, got blah, 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 big tires, big wheels, and they're excited. And you said, what? And so sometimes you're so excited, you can't wait. You go over to their house and show it, knock on their door and tell them, hey, come out here and take a look at this thing. And they're like, what? You got a new car? Now, some people will be haters. They're not gonna say much, they'll be haters. And some people are gonna love it because you got a car. Man, I'm so glad you got your car. That's just the way it works. But if I make that same phone call tomorrow, I got a new car. I'd start a call and let you know. If I make that same call next week, I did get that car. Somebody told me you got, it's a whole different conversation. So if we had Patricia Robinson, she came into the business, or Heather Perry came into the business, and when I called her and she said, and I told her about my new car, she's gonna hear something in my voice. Now I can't explain this. I think Julian's probably better prepared to explain what's coming out of my voice than I am. But there's the word I can come up with is excitement. The one word I can come up with is excitement. I didn't think I was gonna get the car. But I got it. Something happened. I was thinking about it a whole lot. I was dreaming about it, praying on it, and it finally happened. And it's the color I want, the size I want, the shape I want. So they're going to notice in my voice, something's turned on. It's a different person. Now, I know that sounds like a little thing, but we got to capture the power of that. And the longer we've been in the business, that gets tapped down a lot. You've been in. I'm not talking about a day. I'm not talking about next week. I'm not talking about next month. I'm talking about you've been in business a year. When you call somebody for your PBZ, well, if you can't make it, I do it every week at Thursday. If you can't make that Thursday, I'll do it. I can do one for you next month. When you want to do it next year, okay, I can do it next year. We are a different person the longer we've been in something. And it's not just this, it's everything. We buy a brand new pair of shoes. We love them. We're polishing them and all this. Next year, you're cutting grass in those shoes. Okay. You're out there trimming the hedges in the shoes. It's just what we do. It's just a normal, natural thing. So kind of psych yourself up. If you've been in the business a while, psych yourself up when you call somebody. Larry Raskin says that he listened to Tina Turner, Simply the Best. You might be your favorite song. It might be an energy drink. It might be making sure you take a good nap and getting rested. I don't know you. You know you. I don't know you. You've been with you a long time. You've been with you a long time. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. You figure it out. You know that excitement you get when something that you just pumped up. It is crazy. You seen the Beatles when they came to. I was in England. I was in London. I grew up in London when the Beatles were over here in the United States. That shows you how old I am. And the girls were screaming and falling out. The people in the front row, they had to get people to haul them out. When I went to see Michael Jackson in in Tennessee at the Bowls, where the Bowls play. And there were people falling out left and right. They had to drag them out, put them in ambulances, hauling them off to the hospital, because they were so excited. So I'm trying to give you a sense of excitement. I don't know what gets you excited. Maybe it's that song, maybe it's that entertainer, maybe it's a favorite meal. I don't know. I don't know. You know you. But whatever it is what you need to have in you when you call Al Thomas and ask him to take a look at this business you got tonight. When you call Claudine and ask her to look at the business tonight. When you call Darlene and ask her to look at the business tonight. When you call Willie Cribb and ask him to look at the business tonight. You need to have that excitement. So you got to figure that out. Now, that's not tricking nobody, that's not fooling nobody. That means you got to have something in your voice and have a little posture. You know, man up. Man up. You got to have some posture. If they push back at you a little bit, you push back. Okay? You push back because I thought it was important. How can it be important if Julian tells me, well, I can't make it tonight because I gotta blah 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 at 9 o'clock. You said, Julian, it's 30 minutes. Come on, Julian, 7 o'clock, 30 minutes. You know, or tomorrow is my birthday, my daughter's birthday party. Julian, I'm not trying to take the whole day. I need 30 minutes. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. You know what Julian would say? Now we think it's pushy, but what would Julian say? It must be important. Julian would say, this must be important. But if I say, well, Julian, if you can't make it then, come back next week. You know, so it's really important that we get pumped up. And so if you had to, I got several notes here. That's the biggest one. Now, at the events is another thing. You get to meet the co-founders. You get to meet the people that started the business. If they can stay excited for 28 years, why can't, what do they do? Well, they went to 4 events a year, okay? And so events are big, big deals. And my experience is just simply a guy that stayed on me and pressed me without being pushy. He pressed me to come and take a look at the business. He told me, if you come and take a look, that'd be all there is to it. And I'll be happy if you just do that. And so that's how it works. So what I want everybody to, I know our time is running out. I don't want to take a whole lot of time, but I want to make sure I press one thing. Several things. One is don't give up. Every 3 months, give them a call. Every 4 months, give them a call. Every 6 months, whatever you want to do. Number one. Number two, this is a timing thing. They want the check. It's a timing thing. Number two is I need you to get to the events. Once you're in the business, get to an event. And then number three, make sure that when you start calling people that you're super, super excited. And remember the excitement that you have when you first got started. Well, that's the excitement that they have. Don't let them off the hook by doing a presentation of PBZ the following week. Don't let them off the hook with that. Anybody can call 4 or 5 people, and if they got one on, that's the one you're looking for. So that's hopefully that gives you some outlook. The thing that I want to close with is something I heard Warren Buffett said the other day, and it mirrors with Mrs. Solomon said a few days before that, but a couple of days ago I heard Warren Buffett say something. They asked him a question. They asked him a really good question, and he had to stop and think about it a minute. They said, you've been giving financial advice for years and years and years. How come there aren't more rich people? Why didn't more people take your financial advice? You're super wealthy. You know what you're doing. Why haven't more people taking your financial advice? And this is what he said. Now, I want everybody to write this down. He says, because they don't like the get rich slow plan. They don't like the get rich slow plan. Okay. And he has a plan and you'll get massively wealthy, but they want it, like she said, now. And it's not that way. Now, I will say we had another speaker on here to kind of counter that. And he said, that's a lie. ACN does have a get rich quick plan. It depends on what you do, how hard you work. Stephen Payton said that. And by the way, Al, I had an opportunity to go to South America, Panama with Al. Al took me down there, and there was another big turning event in my life. But what I wanted to say is, on the bus, I was sitting across from Stephen Payton when Al says, show them the check. And he showed me his cell phone. And I was shocked that anybody that's been in business a few years had a residual check of. I was shocked. I was shocked. Now, I know we're not supposed to talk money, but I saw it. I'm not telling you about anything, but it was real. Okay, so Al turned around, Al said, show this check. And remember Steve said that on the call, I was there and I saw the check and I've been telling everybody about it. And all the guys and girls in my group, I'm glad they were on to hear that because I saw that. It made a difference. So that's all I have today. We got lots and lots of other things to talk about. I enjoy the business. I like the fact that people can come in. I like a regular average guy can come into this business and blow it up. I love the fact that anybody can do this. I love the fact that we are just getting started with all that. I won't tell you why I know that, but we are just getting started. Just know, I want you to get in a hard, crazy, just against all the odds race to get to RD. Because when that guy signs up, when that girl signs up, you need to be a regional director. So find out what that's about. Get with the guy that signed you up, get with the people that signed you up, find what it takes to be a regional director and walk through glass to get to regional director. Walk there, get there, okay? Because this is where it starts. It starts there. You gotta get there. In this business, the bonus money comes first and the residual money follows. You can't get to residual without going through the bonus. You can't get there. You gotta go through the bonus money first to get to the residual. Is that right, Al? That's correct. Okay, is that right, Julian? You can't get there. So remember, it's not just hype. It's not just, you got to be a regional director. So we got Lauren Saylor from Orangeburg and Erlene Jones from Orangeburg. We got Willie Jones here and we got Darlene. I signed up. Actually, we signed Darlene up, my wife. She's on. And then I signed up under her. Okay, so just do it. If you got to get a couple of positions, somebody, you put them in the business and get started. You help yourself and help them. That's all I have today, Al. I hope it makes sense. That's all I have for my notes.